Welcome. My name is Tina Melo, and I am your host tonight. Revolutionary Shift Your Mindset. We're going to be doing this every month. Next month, we're going to be doing health and wellness. Today, it's more internal work. And you're watching this now from Instagram Live, Facebook Live. We are going to be talking about shifting your mindset in order to reach your highest potential. Did that video not do something for you?
It definitely did. It was what I noticed that really, you even said that when I see it, it would be like very interesting for me was when I was in middle school explaining that I was negative towards myself then. And I can still kind of like see how that like affects me to this day. And it's like figuring out what I can do to like stop that mindset and working in my higher conscience mind instead of my lower conscience mind. So it's definitely interesting to hear that from myself because I don't even remember saying those things.
Sometimes things you said when you were younger, or even things I've said, I don't remember saying it, but it was your core.
Absolutely.
And did you notice that when it said about communication and words and those people that you have around you?
Right, exactly. So it depends on like the type of people you hang around, the type of people that, because you want people in your life that are going to end up, who want to end up seeing you evolve as a person and you doing the same for them, wanting to see them evolve as a person. So what you value is what they value. Now, that doesn't go for everything, but it does go for who they are as a person. You both want to grow. So it's like enforcing to have people like that in your life and noticing when people aren't good for you.
And there was something else I wanted you to pull from that. What gift were you given?
Well,
What's this?
oh, my voice.
You have a powerful voice. You
Thank
always
you.
sing in class.
That was a way of how I expressed myself, and I still do it to like this day, where I'll like sing to express myself. It's something that I do enjoy. I haven't been really doing it that much lately, which I think is something that I need to enforce back into my life because it's something that I was, naturally gifted with, and that's not to sound like a narcissist at all.
Oh, no, no.
Um,
You have to acknowledge the gifts that God gave you. You were born with a
yes.
voice.
But it would definitely be something, that I could like enforce back in my life. And even maybe like if that creating covers on YouTube of different songs.
In
And I'll
4.2
definitely,
hertz.
yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just
You
about
could
to
create a
say,
healing.
yeah,
You could create a whole new generation of healing.
I could. I could.
Yes.
That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea because I was thinking of like things that I could do in my life for like what's my purpose in my life. And I'm still figuring that out. I'm only 19, so there's a lot for me to learn, but I do know like that I do have some sort of awareness for my age in, like knowing all this knowledge about the subconscious, unconscious mind, and basically working with how you can know how to like talk more positively towards yourself and like doing things in your life to enforce, habits, like good habits, positive habits. I've noticed that I need to do that a lot because I've noticed how I talk to myself, and it's like, okay, well, I'm aware of it, but I'm not doing anything to change it. I have the awareness, it's just putting into action what I know.
Not like I didn't spend years trying to drill that into your head.
Exactly. And now I have like a better awareness of it now. And that comes into play with like different people that have come into my life, especially recently, who have also taught me these things.
Uh,
But yes.
and Francis, unmute yourself, is also one of my assistants.
Hello.
And you saw her in the video about her describing how she loves my studio and how it feels like home. And how old are you
Hello.
now, Francis?
I am 23 years old.
And you were with me when you were how old?
I think I was 15 going on 16. That was 6 years ago.
And Talia was 9, actually. I was wrong in that video. You weren't 11, you were
Yes,
9.
I was 9 years old when I first started going to your studio.
Oh,
Because I remember
wow.
it was back when you were near Chase Farm.
14, 15, and 16.
Yes, and you were in that first room, and then you moved to the second room. So I remember that.
With the runway in the middle, 4,000
Mhm.
square feet.
Yes.
So Francis here is very gifted as well. She has brilliant ability to have connection to the universe. Her background, explain, Francis, your heritage, because we all have a blood, and we'll get into this on another. I'll get more deeper into it next month or the month after when we do this again. But Francis, explain to us your background, your culture, your heritage.
So, I'm Native American. I'm Choctaw and Cherokee, and my father is from Africa. He is from Lagos, Nigeria. I learned from both sides of my family about the deep roots of what it is to be African, what it is to be Nigerian, what it is to be a Yoruba African, which is my African tribe, and what it is to be a Native American, and what we've been through and what built our culture, to things that our culture has already seen that people are just finding out about now, being deeply connected to the universe and being deeply connected to the earth and what it means to be human, what it means to be present, what it means to be alive. And that's the thing that they don't teach you in school. So when you are deeply connected with your cultures, like my parents were, you get taught all these things that you're just now finding out about now. And you're like, oh, we didn't know about that, or they didn't teach that in school. It's because they don't want to teach you that in school. There's a lack of wanting to evolve the human mind, and they start with us as children. And that's the reason why some of us are lack in creativity and feel depressed, feel like their life doesn't mean anything, feels like that they don't know what it's like to be a human, what it's like to be a living being. That's where stuff just goes down, and it's just really, really bad. So when you get in touch with yourself, when you really sit down with yourself and you just get connected, like I always tell people, if they're looking to like distress, to just sit down and meditate. Just sit down. You ever just sit down in the room and just be still, and you can hear things, just like in the video Tina was talking about how sound, if you are present, you hear more sound than the human ability is able to. You understand? Like, you ever just sit down and you can hear stuff that you never heard before? That's being present. It's really taught with both sides of my family how to be present. And as I got older, I started doing more research and getting in touch with myself, and then new things started happening to me. And when I was young, like, I didn't really understand. I just knew that it would help people. You know, my sister, she can do it too. Like, sometimes she'll have dreams about certain stuff that's going to happen, or like I can understand someone based on their energy. Or even if I just touch them, I can understand, you know, how they feel and what's going on in their life. And I always been that type of person. And even though I never understood, I guess you can call it a power or a gift, but I just thought it was just basic connection. And I feel like everyone has that ability, that third eye, but it's just, they have so much stuff going on that they're not focused, they're not connected, they're not centered. And when you're not centered, that's when your mind gets all messed up. So during my younger years, I always had that gift. And as I got older, I would like learning about shifting and connections with the human body, learning about Reiki, learning about center meditation. I talked to one of my friends. She's actually a Vietnamese monk. Her name is Q. I'll introduce like her channel. She really talks about what it is to be shifted and what it is to be connected like that, to be present, to have that gift. And she really breaks down certain gifts that people have. And when she was talking about mine in a video, it really helped me understand what I have can do to benefit people. Like I was saying before, through both sides of my family, we're very centered and we're very present. And I was always looked at as odd because I felt like I was different, but it was everyone else that was different. What made me think, you know what, I am stronger. I am intimidating because I am stronger. I know who I am. And don't ever let anyone tell you that you don't know who you are and what you can do, because that's when everything starts coming in. You're going to start doing things that you never done before. You're going to be more present. You're going to be more connected spiritually. I promise you.
It's called harnessing your power. You can
Yes.
harness power. That's why when I first started this video, I said, once you understand who you are, you actually can harness the power. All of us have it. Every human being has
Absolutely.
It's called harnessing your power. Francis, do you have a message for Talia?
I do. Girlfriend, like I was saying before, don't let anyone tell you who you are. You know who you are. And if they're messing with your energy to the point where you can feel it within your core, this is your core right here. If you feel that abruption, then that person needs to leave. There are many friends that I had. There's even family members that I had to separate myself from in order to build myself. I would not be here. I would not be here if it wasn't for me separating myself and building myself up. And that way I networked with people that were like Tina. They networked with people. I'm literally working on a NASA assignment right now for a presentation because I know who I am, and I'm not going to connect myself with someone who doesn't know who they are. Because then they try to send that energy. Energy is like a ball. Someone throws you a ball and you don't catch it, that's bad energy. But if you're connecting and you're catching the energy, then you understand that person. I'm the type of person, I can read you just by standing at you, just by looking at you, a simple conversation. And if I walk away and I feel some type of way, I'm going to be like, I'm not talking to that person. They're disrupting my energy. They're disrupting my peace. And that's when you lose all your connection. Don't let anyone tell you who you aren't. Because when you start asking yourself questions, that's evidence number one. That's symptom number one.
What did I call it? I call it giving someone space in your mind. You don't give them
Yes.
space. Nobody gets space in
Yes.
your head but you.
Yes.
Don't allow any outside influence. Their energy is different. You have your own, and you have to block it. You can't let anyone else's. I like the video. I tried to show you I know that not everybody is visual. That's why on this presentation, I tried to show you literally images of what it does and how it affects your body.
Absolutely.
The words and the way that you get treated from the outside, whether they're aware of it or not. That's why I always said, I never say should have, would have, could have, because there's no such thing. You did something, that's the way you did it. That it's not like you should have done it this way. You should. I hate that. Oh my God. I cringe. Like literally those crystals in my body. Like whenever my mother would say, you should have did this, you should have. I mean, I used to cringe, and now I understand why. Dr. Emoto's crystal experiment. That's why I showed all of you guys back then that video of what the words, your body was made of water. You probably don't remember. I put it back out there because that was a number one thing I showed everybody at all ages. I said, look, your body's made of water. Watch this video in between pattern making. I had you guys watch that to understand the words and the way you are talked to, and the way people talk to you literally affects your body, not just music. It's the words. I hate you. I would cringe. I mean, we all do, right? There's nobody on here. Anybody else want to make a comment that's on? Clarine, Rupa, Bantu. I mean, that's the core. And that's what I use when I teach, I coach, I watch the words. I watch how people talk to me and how I talk to them. I hope you guys were finally able to watch this 45 presentation. Did you guys like the music?
It was very nice.
And music affects me, like I said. Talia, were you surprised that I put in that one when you were singing with the iron?
Yes, I was. That was actually, I think, like a year ago or two. It wasn't that long ago. I came to visit because I was creating my prom dress, just hemming the bottom of it. Pretty sure.
I knew that would spark something in you. I was like, that was like so accidental. I'm like, oh my God, it's on my phone. I gotta put it in the presentation. And like literally your vibration. I mean, I not only just told and explained with the scientific proof of how sound vibrates and goes into your material. The material is your skin.
Right.
And you saw how it gave me freaking goosebumps.
Yes.
The ear was standing up. I mean, your force is very powerful. Now, Francis has this very special gift of spirituality. Do you want to share some of it, Francis? Because you're so connected.
When I say I read people, I literally can like visually, just by touching someone's hand, like, something like people usually don't believe. And I usually don't tell everybody. But it's mostly like people that like I'm connected to. Like I can read them. Like if they're feeling a certain emotion about someone, like why isn't this person connecting with me? I read them, physical contact, or sometimes an item, like traces of them on it.
Yeah, Francis has a very special gift. Have you ever heard of astro traveling and quantum?
Yes.
I'm able to do it as well, but Francis, blows me away when she says she's connected. So for her, it's much easier to do it than, like, for example, me, but I can do it too. Like, I've had the gift of prophecy. I've done astral travel, but where Francis goes is much further out there than me. Practice it anymore because it scared me when I was young, because I dreamt someone's father died, but I didn't even know they had a father. So it was obvious that I had no idea. It wasn't like I didn't know she had a father, because all I saw was her and her mother. She's my neighbor. And I was only like 11. And I literally dreamt it the night before exactly how she jumped over the fence. She was crying. And I literally saw it in real life. Like it was real. I woke up and I'm like, told my mother, I'm like, oh my God, I had this dream and it felt so real. Do you realize that next day she did exactly what I dreamt? That's a gift of prophecy. But it scared me so much that I thought if I was dreaming, people would die. I shut it off. But do you see, like, we all have a gift sometimes, but when it comes young, you're really scared, so you don't understand it. So Francis, what do you have to say about that?
Definitely. Like when you're young, you're very impressionable. Like I remember when I was young, I lived on this street. It was haunted because this lady, she passed away in the house. The ghost would always come to us as people that we were close with. And I still remember it, like till this day. I was like a toddler maybe. And I just seen this person come as my uncle, and he was like behind the tree, and he waved at me. But no one else seen it but me. And I'm so scared. I jumped, I ran. I'm like a little kid, you know? Sometimes you always have like those out of body experiences, when it's like a lucid dream. It's not a dream. You're literally astral planing. You just don't know how to control it. And sometimes when that happens, you really have to be careful where you're at. If you have like negative spirits or negative energy, you don't want that to get back into your body. Even with Tina, like I read her multiple times, and I would like tell her about stuff, these situations that were going to happen, or if she was telling me about a certain situation, I'm going to be like, this is how it's going to go down. And it might not be the way I'm saying it, but it'll come out in a different outcome. You know what I mean? She'll come up to me and like just so heartfelt, like, you were right, like this is what happened, and this is how it said it wasn't your way, but it was kind of like that. So I feel like once you're more connected with yourself and human emotions, which is I was raised to do, you become that person. You can read the scenarios, you can read the emotions, what these people are going through, if you understand.
And I seriously, I will confirm this again. Every human being has this ability. It's just the subconscious blocking you, or some kind of past thing that someone said to you. You know what I mean? It goes deep, because every soul that is born on this planet is a light. I mean, I'll give you my vision of, because I did this quantum Dolores Cannon. I went twice, and I literally went back in time to the point of before I was born. And the vision, literally, what I saw was shooting lights, like lights through the space. And I was trying to find a video to show this, because I'm going to present that. But it was a bunch of lights, all like colors, but all shooting toward the planet Earth. And that's literally the energy that they were talking about, vibrational frequency, sound, that intelligence that was in the video. That is your soul, and all flying toward Earth and entering into a human baby. That light that I showed the image with the light here, when I said, Talia, you're an angel, we are all angels, because we all came from there. We were energy source that entered a human body of a baby and gave it life. Without that source of light, the baby couldn't have been born. This is my belief.
And it was great talking to you, and I will get more into detail, how I center myself. I will give examples.
Yeah.
But it was very nice. It was very nice talking.
We have something to look forward to next month when we do this again. Francis, thank you so much. Love you. Talia, what do you think of tonight?
It was very nice to hear other people's perspectives on like gift. And I want to be able to explore that myself and get into that more, because I feel like as a person, I need to grow, gain more confidence in myself, so I am able to have the power to do those things.
I know you have. I've seen it when you have it, and I've seen you when you haven't had it. I got the proof all on video.
Yeah, that's true too.
Subconsciously, somebody said something to you.
Yeah, no, I still deal with that. And it's like, I need to
you need to start speaking to your subconscious and having
right.
your conscious say that to your conscious. consciousness. Everything is the subconscious, the hidden stuff. The issues always lie in the subconscious. It doesn't matter what you're telling yourself in the mirror when your subconscious is giving you a different message. Talia, you had said to me you had shut off all social media. You stopped listening to the music on the radio.
I would just honestly say I feel like a lot of people need to know now that in our society, there are a lot of things that are being pushed out on the media that are negative, kind of what we were talking about how there are like negative music and stuff like that. I feel like it also comes to like people that we watch that we're not aware are putting out negative content. So just being conscious of that. And it's even, within myself, like trying not to go on social media as much. And at a point I deleted Instagram and Snapchat, and like all this social media that I didn't need. So I recommend to you guys who are watching, if you do have that social media, to give yourself a break and to really, kind of like center yourself and understand where you are at. I feel like it is very important, and what we kind of discussed again, like meditating and grounding yourself and being able to know where you are at. Like I've said before, it's still something that I'm learning to do. I will continue to teach myself. Definitely, it's a lot of tuning birds and stuff like that. They'll use the 440 because it's the way that the bass sounds that makes their music sound good. What it said in the video, you have these rich people who are, putting out this 440. It just stays like that. People want you to like follow, keep you in, and it's hard for people to actually understand, oh, like this isn't good for me because it's so normal in our society today. And that's the problem, and I even find it within myself, like where am I at? Because, like there are certain people that don't really understand that. It's like crazy because that's all, like people listen to. And like, I notice my friends listen to it. It's like, where am I at? What can I listen to? What is good for me? Like all those different kinds of things. So it's really self-discovery as well when it comes to, like this whole thing, like learning about like all these things, really learning. I'm going to evolve and I have to accept that the people who are around me, I can tell them about this stuff, but it's whether they choose to listen to me or not.
Yeah, it's freedom of choice. You can only lead somebody to water if they want. But I'm really proud of you, the fact that you recognize that the music was affecting you.
I even still find it to this day, while I was listening to your project about the 432 hertz, I was like thinking in my head, well, like let me go on Spotify and see if there's any playlists of music that I know that has 432 hertz. And I did find some. So it's really nice.
Now you see a lot of it. But when I did that video with Marty that I used in my presentation, that was 2014. I first started finding out about 432 hertz. And I was playing it in the background. You guys didn't notice.
I didn't like see, like as a kid, like I feel like there were a lot of things that you subliminally did, and it was kind of like an experiment for yourself, which I found so interesting. Like the video of Allegra, she was just dancing to that 432 hertz. She was the experiment, but in a positive way to like teach you, like, wow, like this actually works. It's interesting
with Grant. I mean, when Grant, Judith's brother, who's really artistic. Even with my sister, like when I was teaching him art, the music in the background had to be soothing. I mean, he's already extremely sensitive to his environment, and so is my sister. And so when I was working with him, everything was very peaceful, nature sounds, and he was calm. The moment I go and put on some of the music that he just went ballistic. All of you were. Some of them are more reactive than others. You can see it right away. I played the 430. You guys just get focused, like concentrate better. But the moment I play something else that's in 440, you don't even realize that your body was dance and stuff like that and crazy, but not to the point of not control. The fact that you said you had shut everything off. I'm also not listening to a lot of this music, but the music that I do listen to, which is the first song that I played, that is vocal. So if it's someone vocal with a guitar, they're not doing 440, they're doing 432. They're doing their vibrational. So when you sang, it was your 432 hertz. It was anybody that just sings out like that. That's your natural, human. That's what you need to listen to. Live, not the stuff that gets tampered with and on the radio or on YouTube.
No,
It is
no.
the live music that is coming organically from your
Right.
own human vibration. You don't listen to anything, listen to your own voice. Try that
Yeah.
experiment, Talia. Sing, record, and listen to your own voice. Watch how it heals you.
4:32, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for mentioning that because I did want to talk about that. Love you. Dreams, you too. Ciao. So, guys, wow, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Talia. And I hope you're going to join us tomorrow because we have several guests. So, tomorrow's Holly, who is from Canada, and Betsy, and that's in the morning. So, I hope you're going to jump on. And on Sunday is going to be Rupa, Tania Canada. And guess what Tania Canada does?
What?
Sing.
Oh, ciao.
8:15. We did awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good night.